Good morning, good morning, good morning, community. How are you? Jenenne Macklin here, transformational speaker, your wealth guide and catalyst. I had Monday mindset and I had Wednesday wisdom. I couldn't remember what I did on Friday. It was a Friday freedoms, a Friday facts. And I said Friday freedom. I knew it was never Friday freedom. Oh my gosh, how are you? Good morning to the West Coast. We're a little chilly over here, heading towards some sun. Good morning to the East Coast. I can't even imagine what kind of weather you guys have. What can I say? How are you? You come back on afterwards, let me know. Put hashtag replay, let me know what state you're in, where you are. I don't even have any words really to say. It is 2021 and it truly is a new day. Uh, and that's all we can say. On the one hand, when I first got up again, I thought, well, America should know now, right? If you don't know, then you ought to know, right? Because we are all clear that no POCs could have gotten anywhere near that white building to do what was done yesterday. We know that. Nobody else. Hi, Joshua. How are you this morning? What state are you from? Where are you? And how are you doing? We know POCs couldn't got in that building. I think I saw one brother and a friend of mine saw him and she's like, whose man is that? That's somebody's husband. Get him out of there. And I saw another one. So you don't even know what to say. People of color could not have done that. And here's the thing, as I was thinking about it again this morning, those who did it felt entitled. So there are probably some who think they were entitled to do that. But it still speaks to the truth of America, is that they feel they're entitled to do it because this is their America. And that the POC people are basically in the way. I guess that won't work, huh? Or just in the way. We were the free labor, our ancestors, that were used to build this country. We were the ones that were enslaved, because as I understand it, I didn't realize that Latinos were never enslaved. Mexican Americans, Latinos. So we have no claim to this country, really. And those who went in felt like it was theirs. And they could just do whatever they want to. And it's not the first time, because if you remember, wasn't it when Trump first got in office? Wasn't Sandra Palin in there with some of her friends and they were standing next to pictures and taking poses? So we had to know this was coming. They've already shown themselves. And at the same time that it's funny, it's also rudely awakening to the truth of the racism issues in this country. You can't get around it. Those people walked out of there waving like, okay, bye, like a day at the beach or a day at the museum or the day at the art gallery. Okay, we did what we had to do and bye. Nobody stopped them. Nobody threw them on the ground. Nobody put bullets on them and hit them with the dumb bullets and stuff that caused so much pain that we went through when we marched with the BLM. Nobody did any of that. They just walked up in it. Bro, who breaks windows at the White House? That's like some gangster shit, That's just straight up gangster. But they felt like, I guess it's their White House, so they could do what they want. Just amazing to me, though, to look at it. And all I can say is, well, America just showed its true colors. That's America's colors. That's what we're dealing with. That's what we've been talking about, complaining about, fussing about forever. And it's so insidious in that it's entrenched in all of the systems of America, everywhere along the way. Hey, you in Los Angeles? Hey, Joshua, then it's just a little chilly for us. It's insidious. It's so insidious. It's in everything. Every arm of this government it's insidious. It's ours. We created it. We're the one race. Everybody else isn't any good. We'll do whatever we want. Just amazing to see it play out. So America really just has to make peace with herself, because this is all America's doing. And outside of maybe 2 black guys I saw, I don't think I saw a black woman in there. Maybe there was one. The rest was the people who believe this is theirs. So, you know, what do you say? What can you say? In the meantime, we still have to go ahead and live life. In the meantime, we still have goals that we set, 5 days ago? 5 days ago, about what we wanted to do. What you want to do in your life, what you want to do in your business, what you want to do with your health, what you want to do in regards to your finances. Now, the finances is where I come in, but they're all connected, because the emotionality behind money impacts all the 4 primary areas of our life. So that's where I spend my time. Although for this year, I've been walking and talking with you since it started last March. But I am gradually moving back into my business. But all we can really do is stay our course. The government has to deal with this. We just have to stay our course. However, I would suggest that you be very vigilant and mindful, because those people represent people all over the world, right here in our homes, in our community, not in our homes, but in our communities, in our neighborhoods. So you do want to be vigilant. You want to be mindful. You want to be aware of things going on around you in your surroundings. But if you have next door in your community, then you can get a sense of who feels what and who thinks what. But other than that, what I want to know from you is, what are your goals for 2021? Don't get distracted by all that's going on at the White House. There's been stuff going on at the White House all this whole time. It didn't get your full undivided attention all the time, or did it? What are your goals? What are your goals for the first 3 months of this year? Well, I thought it was cold, but I'm warm already. And you want to look at those goals in 4 areas of your life. You want to look at the goals you have in your health, and for your heart, which is your relationships, and then what are the goals that you have for your faith and your finances. That's the 4 areas that we really want to drill down into. How do you want to feel in each one of those 4 areas of your life is the question to answer. Start with the end in mind. How do you want to feel 3 months from now in those 4 areas of your life? When it comes to your money, when it comes to your health, when it comes to your faith, when it comes to your relationships. Under each one of those, 1, probably 2 at the most, no more than that. It takes enough time just to do the 1 goal. How do you want to feel? Start with the end in mind. Then walk backwards to see what would be 2 actions you would have to take to move yourself, inch yourself, step by step, toward achieving that goal. Step by step, inch by inch, to achieving that goal. How do you want to feel in your relationships? How do you want to feel in your relationship with money? How do you want to feel regarding your health? What attention does your health need? As well as, where can you anchor yourself stronger in your faith? Where can you anchor yourself stronger in your faith? Because we know that if that's the way the year started off with the White House, we know then there's more to come. What it did, though, which I hope you were able to recognize too, is I don't want it to stir fear in you. I just want you to recognize how the world, the United States is just set up, and how things are in the United States. If there's any places where you were questioning yourself or wondering what was going on, or is this true or not true, I think America's pretty much showed itself for who it truly is. And I said the POC, but it's really Black Americans, African Americans, however you want to define yourself. Because everybody else has been paid reparations, everybody else has been addressed who were enslaved. But the enslaved black people, that has never been addressed and continues to be hanging over the head of America. And I guess it will always until they address it. So, while on the one hand, I think yesterday gave us some sense of it's not us. We're not the issue, we're not the problem. Even though the media makes it seem like we're doing all the killing and we're doing all the robbing and we're doing all the raping and we're doing all the mugging. It's really not us. That there is, what it is, I think, is small pockets of people and individuals who feel certain ways in particular ways that then act forward on those emotions. So we still want to be vigilant in our relationships with others. We still want to be vigilant in bridging that gap between my home and your home. But we still want to be very conscious about who we're building those bridges with and who those people are. And really, truly getting to know each other better. That all aside, it's a new year. You have goals. You have things that you want to achieve this year. Because life still goes on. Even with all this stuff happening, life still goes on. Life is not going to stop and say, oh, you get a pass because there's political awakening happening on the planet. You get a pass because there's a racial awakening on the planet. Our humanity is awakening on the planet. Oh, no. You still have your goals. You still have your dreams. You still have those things that you came to this planet to do. And you're maybe as significant and maybe even more important than you know at this particular time on the planet. That we need your skills. We need your input. We need your products. We need your services. So whatever that is for my business owners, small business owners, entrepreneurs, authors, speakers, moms, teachers, whatever that is, whatever that goal is, you want to stay true to that and stay focused on that. Don't get distracted by all the stuff that's going on out here in the media and all. There will always be something going on. And those of you who voted for Biden knew that this was going to be rough. And you had to know it was just like Obama taking office. It's going to be rough, and it's going to continue to be rough because certain people have now been empowered to think that what they say, what they do, how they destroy things doesn't matter. But it doesn't let you off the hook. So what are your goals in the 4 areas of your life? Hi, Julia. How are you? What state are you in, my dear? What are the goals in the 4 areas of your life? I think I said this to you on Wednesday. Write down that 1 or 2 goals. That's enough. That's enough. And then under that, write at least the 3 actions you're going to take. That's enough. Just 3. And then map out those actions. You just can't say, okay, mine is to walk a minimum of 3 times a week. I either go up to the top of the hill where we go hiking, which would be that hill up there that you could see in the background maybe. That's where we hike to. Or, you know me, if you've been with me for a while, then I hit the Rose Bowl. That's 3.5 miles, 3 times a week. That's the goal. So then what are the things that have to happen under there for that to work for me? Well, there's not a whole lot. I just need to get up and go. I lay my clothes out the night before. But I do have this thing where everything I do, I put on my calendar. So if you came into my house, you'd see a calendar with lines on it. And I walk for lines. When I used to run marathons and I used to do the 5Ks and the half marathons, I'd run for T-shirts or I'd walk for T-shirts. Well, now I run and walk for the marks on my calendar. So if when I die, people see my calendar, it'd have all these marks on it. Probably like, what in the world? Well, that's the way I track my progress. And then at the end of the month, I count my marks to see how many do I have more this month than I had last month. That gives me satisfaction. It's like, okay, you did it. You said you're going to do it. Now you can look for the results. So that includes me getting to bed at a decent time. I used to get up in the morning now more consistently than I used to do and get back to my morning meditation at 6. So I'm meditating from like 6 to 7 or however long they have me sitting there. Then I'm throwing on some clothes because I know by 9 o'clock, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I get to talk to you. And then 9 o'clock, I need to hit the road to start walking. I have my water, I have my drinks and everything set out the night before that have my minerals and stuff in it. I used to carry water with me, but now I don't because I just need to walk and I used to use my arms to power me up the hill. And I should make some t-shirts for myself. I think about it, so I can give myself a t-shirt after I do 5K or something like that of walking. So that's mine as relates to exercise. Then I have a goal around health. As I get older, it becomes more and more imperative to me that I am eating in a way that's going to sustain this body until, I think I asked God to be here till 85. So what am I going to eat? What I need to shift and change? What do I need to do with any of those cravings that come up? If it's salt, if it's sugar. Mine's is usually around crunch. I like things that crunch. So I can chew through a bag of peanuts and take the shells off with the best of any squirrel. So that's the place where I have my other biggest pieces that support my exercising is my eating and my fluid intake and then my rest. And the biggest thing I have to get better at is stretching. I just don't stretch. I will go walk this walk, go home and start working or fix some breakfast for my son, and then the day is on. And then by the evening, I'm like, why am I so sore, so stiff? So that's my biggest piece that I probably need to move to the top of my list is stretching. Before I even get started, is stretching. So what are your goals? I want you to stay focused on your goals. Turn the TV off. I think yesterday or the day before, whenever this happened, I sat in front of the TV for the first time most of the day, trying to figure out what the heck is going on. And then I went back through my phone because I have pictures of my son and I going to the BLM protest. And when we were heading toward Los Angeles to the City Hall, we were met with 2 rows of troopers. Before we even got to the site, we had to pass them to get to the site. So they let us know their presence. So I know what they're capable of doing in Washington if they had wanted to. So I'm not sure why I went to that one, but anyway. So there's still those goals that you want to look at for your life that you have and stay focused on them. That's what it was. Turn the TV off. Unless you're exercising to some of the programs that are on TV, and take care of you. Focus on you. This still is your life that you have to take control of. You're the one that has the power to decide what it's going to look like, what it's going to be, how you're going to feel in it. No one else has that. And I understand that some of you may be going through really, really difficult times. And still, I say to you, you're the one that's going to make that shift, extending your hand, though, to others for help. You don't have to do it by yourself. You do not have to do it by yourself. One of the greatest things about us in America and about what seems to be happening is we reach out to others. We look to see where we can help others. And while there were, I don't know, however many people were at the White House the other day, they didn't give me a number. There are 3 or 4 times that many people who will extend a hand to help and to support you. So you don't have to feel like you have to do this all by yourself in a vacuum. But the biggest piece to it is going to be your thoughts, what you say to yourself to make sure you stay on track for your goals, what you say to yourself when you're trying something new that you haven't done before. Team up with someone. I happened to see a mother and a daughter who were pretty obese, who had lost weight, and now they're talking about opening up a jazz class, exercise class together. Be true to you and take care of you. All this other stuff with the White House and all that stuff, when that stuff finally trickles down, it impacts us in ways that are big, but they're still small. It's going to impact our taxes. It may impact our money more than anything else, but it doesn't have to impact your goals. You want to keep this as 2021. And I know it may be hard because sometimes it's just tired. I thought yesterday, I'm so tired. And I thought, what are you tired from? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't do anything. I'm just tired. And transformation isn't easy. When I'm working with my clients and women, I'm shifting them to think differently about money, to help them have greater financial freedom or greater financial wholeness. It's a big shift. It's like that they have to make. But because they work with me as a coach, we get to kind of do it more like this. And then I have a 90-day program. We kind of do it like this, and then they get to this place. And they don't do it alone because I'm there to support them, and others who are in the group are there to support them. But for many of us, when we're achieving our goals, it's just us. I know women try to wrangle in their husbands. I need to walk because I have an appointment at 10. They wrangle in their husbands when they can't wrangle in their girlfriends or their daughters. But sometimes the goals that we have that we've said, we're the ones that create them. They flow through us and demand that we bring them into manifestation. So we're the only ones that can do it. So when we're looking to the right, hoping, and we're looking to the left, looking to see, okay, who's going to help me? You're going to help you. And then there's an incredible power inside of you that's going to help you along the way. So still stay focused on your goals. The world is good. The universe and the regular political procedures are going to happen. There's going to be another person that'll take over that seat as president. The one who's in there will move to the side and continue to talk, and life will go on. So what we want to be focused on is keeping track of the goals that we said we've set. Under each goal, what are those steps and action steps that you're going to take? Here's the other thing about action steps. Give them a timeline. What are you going to do in the next week? What are you going to do in the next 2 weeks? What are you going to do in the next 3 weeks? Everything that's a goal has to have measurements. You have to have some kind of measure. You can't say, oh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, and then that's it. What are the incremental steps? What's your time frame? We're not going to take a whole year to lose 10 pounds. It doesn't take a whole year. So you have to give yourself some time frames so that you stay on track. You have something that you're aiming for, something that you're shooting for, something that's motivating you and driving you to reach this goal. In the meantime, as much as I want to say, don't get caught up on TV, I did. I turned the TV on this morning and said, what the heck are those people doing now? And then, and it was amazing because the boldness, nobody had on mask. They weren't concerned. See, it was black folks, we'd have to have on masks. We'd be concerned and worried. They didn't have no masks. They weren't concerned. They didn't mind that their pictures were taken. They didn't mind that the world saw them. So I guess some of them don't mind that they're getting fired today. Others don't mind that they're getting fired because so many people have been fired. Others don't mind, I guess they are going to jail. I'm like, okay. But we all know that they were handled different than we were handled during our protests. We were running. We were ducking and dodging. The police were pissed off. What did the man say then? Shooters or looters or whatever is completely different for black folks. And I think that's what we want in America to be aware of more than anything else. And I'm sure people didn't get it. That's what black people get. I get that. But there probably was a few more who understood what our plea is regarding the racial divide in this country and how it impacts us and how it is systemic. And there's not a whole lot we can do with the system. The greatest impact we can have is with each other. Because when you realize that in the colonization of this country, black folks were brought here as free labor to build this country. They then started building in the system how to keep us out. They then started building in the systems, in the rules and the regulations, in the articles and the Constitution. I mean, one of the biggest things my son is upset about is, he said, we need to go back and look at the Constitution. And was it the amendment that said that slavery was abolished except for crimes? So they can still pick up folks and put them in prisons. And so there's still those elements to it that are specific to us, specific to what seems to happen to our people in our community. So that was one of his biggest arguments is, they abolished slavery, but they really didn't. Because they left just enough of a leeway in there to say, oh yeah, we can still snatch you and grab you and lock you up for this reason. So there's so many layers to it. And it's like when you make a cake and you put in the flour, the sugar, the butter, the vanilla, the extract, you blend it together. How do you pull out, once you put that all in the blender, how do you pull out the sugar? How do you pull out the eggs? You can't, because it's already within it. And that's the way America has been set up, because she was built on the backs of free labor of black folks. So it's so entrenched. So the only way we can make a headway with it is through our individual conversations, what we say to each other, how we interact with each other, how we're willing to understand each other more, and not just look for where we're different on the outside, but we're willing to look into our hearts to see where we're the same. I continue to still say we're the sweetest people on the planet. I don't know how many pictures I have. For some reason, in Kansas and Missouri and different places, people seem to get stuck in water and get stuck in this forever a black family, somebody that stops and pulls over to the side of the road to help. But America's plan, which has been so successful, continues to portray us as these terrible people robbing, murdering, raping everybody, which that's not what we do. So I think for us, it was like, well, now you can see it's not us who goes in the White House and tears up everything and steals everything. It's not us. That's not who we are. And the people that it is, they get to do it. and pretty much get away with it. And that's what we've lived with for all this time. But it doesn't stop us, and don't you let it stop you. I'm sure I'm rambling today. I don't know if it gives you any inspiration or motivation today, but hang in there. It's the beginning. We are just at the beginning. Hey, Kat, there's no way for us to stop. So you got a gist of what's going on. I just look at it because I'm still amazed that the boys walked themselves up in there and didn't know. From me, it was a setup. It's like the president set y'all up. We're going to go to the whatever. We ain't going nowhere. You guys went walking and he got in his car. I'm like, wow. Wow. And you break out windows. Wow. So anyway, turn in another direction and focus on your goals. Let me know what your goals are, what you're working on, and if you need any support. I'm ecstatic because I created Money Mastery affirmation cards. I wrote a book last year. It became an international bestseller. And then it just kind of quieted down because of the pandemic hitting. So we're reviving that, but the affirmation cards are on their way. So I suggest that you go to my website. At some point, I won't be here with this regularity. Sign up at JenenneMacklin.com, and you'll get the notice when they come. The affirmations complement the book. The book is also entitled Money Mastery Now. Align with money, activate your joy, and amplify your worth. And I'm really talking to my women who I want you to have a greater relationship with money than you've ever had. Even if you do good with money, but for you to have a better relationship with money than you've ever had, to begin to see that relationship as fun, as prosperous, as something you can manage, you can understand with grace and ease. So I'm waiting for those to arrive, and then we'll be sending them out. I'm going to give out some freebies of a few affirmations. I think we did a 54 card deck. And then for those who actually want to buy the whole deck, you'll be able to. But if not, in the meantime, you'll at least get 5 for you to begin to move into that consciousness and awareness with intention. Oh my God. I don't know if Kat said it was disgusting. I don't know if I thought it was disgusting or not. I was just like, what are you doing? And I have no affinity for the White House. I never thought about going there. My son has been there for the Easter party with Michelle and Barack. For some reason, he went twice for Easter. But it's a symbol. And for people to have been so led deviously by the president to think that it would be okay to do that, but then they want to be mad about black people. Then you want to talk about how black people are shiftless and lady and drink, and you want to kill George Floyd and kill Breonna Taylor. You just kill black people. But black people didn't go into the White House yesterday or the day before. Black people don't do that stuff. If America knew us, we don't do that. We got better sense than that. Or as we would say growing up, I got better home training than that. I'm going to go into the White House and break into it. There's only one set of people who have that level of privilege. And yet, the lies continue about how we're shiftless and lazy and don't work and don't do this. But it's systemic. And the only way we can change that is each of us talking to each other, spending time with each other, and then we can tell the true stories. So, in the meantime, back to your goals. What are those goals? Write them down. What are the action steps? 3 steps you're going to take. But be sure about this with your goals. Start with the end in mind. Ask yourself, how do you want to feel when you've achieved your goal? What is it you want to experience when you've achieved your goal? And let that be the driving force to achieve it. If it's that you're going to lose 2 pounds, fine. How will you feel losing those 2 pounds? That's what you want to capture. What is the dress or pair of pants you want to get into after you lose those 2 or 3 pounds? How will you feel after you lose those pounds? That's what you focus on. And that's what keeps you motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. Putting one foot in front of the other until you reach your goal. So we're just going to pray for America. We're going to pray for the 72,000 people who like Trump. There's 72,000 or 72 million that like him. They're happy with him, what he's done, what he says, and all of that. I don't have time to fight with him, but if that's what's real for them, let me go down here, then that's what's real for them. I got a bigger vision for us than that. I hope you hold a bigger vision for us as well. In the meantime, though, it's Friday. Take a break. It's going to warm up for us here in California. Get out in the sun. Get you some sleep. Turn that TV off and stop binging, because it's just the beginning. We're at the beginning of a year, okay? We're not going to be starting this year off and staying here on high the whole year because of crazy behavior. Bring yourself down to something where you're right here. Find yourself centered in some place where you can be, and then stay there. No matter what they do in the White House, no matter what happens next with this inauguration, no matter what happens in springtime, no matter what happens, you stay focused on you, because technically that's really the only thing that we can control. And we have a hard enough time controlling ourselves, right? So it says it's Friday. It doesn't feel like Friday. I really am, in a sense, like, I don't know what day it is, but I know it's Friday. Take good care. Stay focused on your goals. Hold that high vision for what we want this world to be. As you know, it's unfortunate. Some people were fed that, the white race is the top race and it's the whatever race. And so they believe it, they live it, and that's what they operate from. And, it's just some of the things we have to deal with. I'm not trying to get them to change their mind. I'm just trying to get them to understand, well, if you're the race, that's fine. But why you got to bother all the other races? Go on and be the race. Just let us all do what God put us here to do. If we weren't supposed to be here, we wouldn't be here. But you get to decide for yourself. Bring it down. Bring it down. Bring it down. Don't go up there with them. Go back to your dry challenge. Don't start drinking because they acting crazy. Bring it down. Take your time to do your exercise and your breathing. Yep, Kat said it down there. Breathe. Take your time and bring it down and catch your breath and simply do your breathing. Stay focused, because you know what? Those people that hit that building yesterday do not give you breath or life. There's only one power and one presence that continues to give you breath and life in the midst of all of this. And that's what you want to turn to, lean on, count on, and depend on. And that's the truth. That's an unwavering truth. Not a person that went in that building is giving you breath, nor is the person who's supposed to be in charge of this United States giving you breath. So long as you have breath, that means you are here to live your goals and your dreams and to make them happen. And it's your life. No one gets to do it for you. No one gets to take it from you. It's your life. So go do it. What are the goals? What are the objectives? What are those 3 actions you're going to take? That's not even all. When are you going to take them? Mine is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. When is yours? What are the days you're going to take those actions? What are the times that you're going to do it? What clothes do you need to do it in? I lay my clothes out the night before. What do you need to prepare in order to do your goals and your objectives? Focus on you. Do like the man in charge does. He focuses on himself all the time. Focus on you. What you want, what you need, what's going to feel good for you in every single moment. And then do that. Because you take care of you, then you can take care of your family. You can take care of the kids. You can take care of everyone else. Wow, she's driving fast to get to that daycare. Sheesh. Anyway, have a great day. It's Friday, the first Friday of the year, right? Or did we already have one? I guess we did. It's the second Friday, huh? Because the first, second, and third was the first weekend. We're in the second weekend of January already, and you know it's going to go fast. Take good care. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.